You're listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Call to Campbell. I'm Ty.
I'm Eric.
I'm Michael.
I'm Bailey.
And this is our very special Christmas episode of Call to Campbell as part of a very Cult Talk Christmas 2. And here we are. We are watching Bruce's very first Christmas movie.
You know, I read that and I was like, wait a minute. No, it wasn't. But what I saw was an episode of a TV show.
Exactly. We saw an episode last year for our Christmas special. We did The Librarians and Santa's Midnight Run.
Didn't he do another Hallmark movie, or is this the only one?
He did one, but it was just this year.
Oh, it was
this
just
last year. And from what I understand, he has a third one. He mentioned he just wrapped on a third one. So we have 2 more years of sustainability for Call to Campbell Christmas specials.
Right, because he even said, well, to shout out to the people at Bruce Fest real quick that met us there and took pictures with us.
Baby, Bruce Fest.
Yeah, just want to give a shout out to those listeners if you're listening in right now. But he did mention at the Bruce Fest there, he's like, yeah, these Hallmark films are easy to shoot. He's like, essentially a little budget film. 15 days in and out.
Yeah, 15 done. Days. What was it? 15 days and 90 days to.
Wow, that's. Yeah, we won't.
Or no, it was 6 weeks. It was 6 weeks. 15 days to shoot, 6 weeks to wrap.
Well, for big budget films, he was talking about like bigger budget films, like like Bubba Hotep. It took 6 weeks to shoot, and it took way longer for that one to get edited because the guy was doing it himself.
Time, yeah.
But yeah, he's doing more Hallmark. It sounds like, and because they're just easier to shoot, 15 days in and out. He covers scenes in a day, and
I don't want to spoil it, but I'm fucking here for it. Give me as many of these I can handle. This was a fucking treat.
And this one was cool because it wasn't like the traditional Hallmark that you make fun of.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, and I read the synopsis for the other one, the second one, and it's also not a typical small town, big city girl moves to small town. It's also a lot different. So
it's like it still has a love story in there, sure, but it wasn't the big city girl from coming back and marrying the baker.
It felt like a Hallmark movie, but I kept trying to predict Hallmark beats, and I was always kind of off. You know what I mean? That was the thing. It's like, oh, this scene's going to end with this. And it's like, nope, Eric's wrong.
Yep. They kind of just off of a Hallmark. It definitely had that joyful feel. And it also has this thing. I'll mention it now because it's really not that important to mention later. My problem with Hallmark films is their pacing is super quick. They're this beat. They're like just moving from thing, and people resolve their issues in no time. No time at all. They're not supposed to induce stress. I mean, right?
They're movies for you to literally just shut your brain off and watch. I think my house is set up perfect for it because I can put it on the TV while I'm cooking and shit. Because I think that's what they're for. They're for to have on while you're wrapping presents and doing shit around the house
or making your Christmas cookies.
Because you look up, you're like, oh no, there's some tension. Oh,
it's gone. Thank God that's over.
Yeah. Thank God I looked up just in time to see that conflict begin and get resolved.
What Hallmark trope did it have for you, Bailey?
It had the love story. That's the thing for me. I cannot. My thing with the Hallmark films is the cookie cutter. Yes, Christmas pun intended. Love story act. And it doesn't matter what you trade. The big city girl needs a break from the world. There's always a big problem that needs resolved. They have to come together to solve the problem, and then they kiss at the end, and oh my God, everything's all the way.
Oh yeah, and they're also childhood friends and such.
Yeah, they always grew up in the same small town.
That's some propaganda if I ever heard any.
Yeah, what about that sounds bad though?
Small town.
Honestly, well, yeah, small town.
Bad.
Fuck small town.
Yeah, she just felt like it was more of a Hallmark movie than perhaps
I think we need to flip that on its head and do small town girl comes to big city and it's fuck the small town.
That's real.
Well,
I want to be here where I could be independent and do shit.
That's too real life. You can't do that.
Whoa, there's shit to do here?
What?
That's more rom-com territory, isn't it? Where the small town girl goes to the big city.
Yeah,
I guess it's
Yeah.
It's you mean this town doesn't shut down at 6 p.m.? That's crazy. Estes Park.
Oh my god!
Yeah, speaking of Bruce Fest, yeah, we got this movie really like connected with me because we met Bruce in a fucking Hallmark town. Like,
Yeah, for real.
how cool is that? Like, the town that Estes Park is a fucking Hallmark town. It was
Even though there's a
insane.
horror hotel on the hill there. But
Yeah, exactly.
But it looks
My
so
God.
nice. It's just like, just that nice fancy hotel that's, sitting on top of a mountain overlooking gorgeous little Christmas village,
Was he-
that fucking city. What?
Did he have red on when you met him?
He did not. No.
Did he do a red suit at all?
I think
No.
at some point he had a red tie.
Maybe.
At one of the days he wore
Yeah, I think he like did the black and red. I don't remember now. I have to go back.
That's
Yeah.
such a waste. That man needs to wear red everywhere he goes.
The thing I noticed most about this movie, Hallmarkish, is the red and green
Yeah.
blazers they did at the end, where they was like, who's wearing red, who's wearing, because that's like if you look at the Hallmark movie posters, that's just like the thing. Someone's wearing red, someone's wearing green.
We tried to make a movie once where reds and greens pop, but that didn't follow through. But Eric, give us the stat for this film.
Took a hell of a lot longer, 15 days shoot that some bitch.
Sure did.
Plot points, Eric, quickly.
All right. Well, we'll start with some of the key players here. This fucked me right off the bat with the pronunciation. Here we go. Director Claire Niederpruem. Claire Niederpruem.
I'm not
Sure.
even gonna help you with that one. I can't.
Yeah,
even
that's
help
on
you
your
with that
own.
one.
There's
Sorry.
no. It looks Germanic. Written by Eric Brooks
There you go.
and Sib Ventris did the story.
Two
by.
people to write this. Huh? Oh, story by.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And let's go through our cast. We have I'm gonna skip right down to her. The Dee Khan
Frenchie?
from Frenchie. Yes. Yes, from Greece. That was cool. She made an appearance.
Ben called that one out.
Didn't catch that.
She was the waitress in the diner.
Yeah.
Oh, how sweet.
Anna called that out too. She's like, that sounds like that girl from Greece.
Oh,
She
and
was
I
a
love-
sweet character.
She was sweet. And
I was worried that in any other movie she would have died, but it's a Hallmark movie, so I don't know what would happen. But in any other movie, she would have been like the second act resolution. She dies and they have to come together.
and her funeral brings everyone back
Yeah,
together.
that would have been any other movie. That's what. But I was like, it's a Hallmark movie. I don't worry about that.
Is that what happens in the sequel?
There's no
The sequel we write, sure.
Yeah, sure.
We'll bring
Who
this
else?
whole cast back just so we can kill her.
Oh no!
Some of the other actors.
Kill-
Julia Blanchard, Beth Fowler. There was Jasmine Forsberg. Now this confuses me. She's credited as Addison Reed as Jasmine Page Forsberg. So was she like? Does that mean she was like playing herself? This was the young client.
This was the singer.
Oh, the young musician, probably.
Oh, yeah, probably playing
yeah.
herself, yeah.
Yeah,
Because she's trying to
that's
still
cool.
promote herself through Hallmark. Why not?
That's cool. Well, yeah, she
Why
was
not?
really good. She was pretty
She was
good.
good.
super good.
Hell, she could have literally cut that scene at the end, and that's a music video. Like it's shot just like a music
Right.
video.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
We also have Jenna Stern, Andrew Durand, Brett Dalton, pretty
Now-
boy.
Now,
Brett Dalton,
which one of these are J Bug and Q Ball?
J Bug and Q. Oh God, they're so Brett Dalton must be J Bug. Jason
Okay.
Bedford.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Eloise Mumford as Quinn Allen, otherwise known
Now-
as Q Ball.
Now that guy, the J Bug guy, I think that's all he does is Hallmark movies. I'm pretty sure I've seen
You
him.
can
in
make a
things.
career off of it. Why not?
Well, hell yeah, why not? You get to travel to cool ass little quaint towns and just
They do this all in the same town. Don't think they're traveling for this.
you get to meet Bruce Campbell. Like,
This is
It looks like he does a few. I think he was in I'm drawing a blank. It was the Marvel series.
that is.
Yeah.
I was Shield.
Shield, Agents of Shield.
I was trying. I knew I had seen him from somewhere. I
Yeah.
knew I seen him somewhere.
What was the guy next to Bruce, the other dad? What's his name?
That was Peter Gallagher.
Peter
Peter
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Mike
Fun fact, I passed him on the streets in New York City when I was there once.
Really?
Yeah, as he was walking down the street, I did like a double take. He just walked right past me like in New York. I looked around, I was like, that's that fucking guy. I didn't know his name at the time, but I was like, that's that fucking guy.
Wow.
I was thinking Mr. Deeds at the time when I seen him, but
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's super cool.
And last but most certainly not least,
the reason we're here.
Bruce Campbell as Steve Bedford.
And fun fact about Bruce Campbell is Eric and I shared the stage with him at Bruce Fest 2022.
Yeah, how many questions did you ask him, huh?
I think I asked one, didn't I? I asked one.
I think
and
you got
then-
one
then-
out.
then
And I think he kind of blew it off.
He was like, nope.
What was the question?
No, I think he went off my question, but he ignored the one thing where I brought up the Evil Dead comparison. I know that, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's Bruce. He,
I had the best seat in the house. I didn't give a shit.
Exactly, and he was answering a lot of the audience questions too.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
that's why everyone said to us, they're like, "You guys don't have to do much." So I was like, "You guys have the best seats in the house."
I know, which is good because I was just kind of up there, like, for you can't see me
shaking like a hummingbird,
like a leaf. Yeah,
still one of my favorite things he said on stage, and I've been telling everybody the story, so you're probably tired of hearing it, whoever's listening. But we're at the end of Bubba Hotep, and he does, the thank you very much at the end of the film. Someone yelled up for him to say that if he could do that as Elvis. He's like, yeah, I absolutely could if I was your fucking monkey. Just it's still one of my favorite things he did.
Yeah. I know, it was funny.
I'm sorry, everyone with headphones in. That was wonderful.
in case people aren't caught on, we were at Bruce Fest, Bruce Fest 22 in Estes Park.
No one cares anymore. Move on.
Yep, yeah.
No, we had a great time, and we met a lot of cool Campbellites, and they were a blast. People actually coming up wanting pictures of us, and that was the coolest feeling. That was the coolest damn feeling. And still, anyone that met us at Bruce Fest, let us know in the comments. Probably still in touch with you guys, I'm sure. But
so what are we doing now? We going to go break down into this movie, or do you have anything else to mention there, Eric, that you're looking at on IMDb?
I don't know. I mean,
did it have a budget?
I can't find a budget on.
Well, I guess you'd have to have a box office.
$20.
$20.
I don't know. She bought a lot of decorations, man.
There were a ton of decorations in there.
A lot of decorations.
She did.
Yeah, I've got like.
Well, I think if that's it, let's go ahead and let's get to our next segment here, and let's find out which one of these guys is the Christ allegory. Let's get groovy.
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. It's time for ACTION. Join the cult of Campbell. Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my boomstick.
One December night. Bruce
Why do you
Campbell.
think it's called that?
I don't know.
Actually, before, because we all know why it's called that now. Why did you think that before?
Yes. Me?
Yeah.
I just thought it was on one December night, Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
This whole plot taking place on one night.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a one night little thing.
I thought it was a Hallmark film, and that's why it's called One December Night.
I'm with Bailey on that one. I didn't really believe much thought was put into it, but
whatever. They put a lot of thoughts into their titles.
They went a layer or two deeper than I thought. It
Yeah.
was the name of the song that brings them together.
It was,
and it was based on the night that he met his wife.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. So, there's,
I was looking at titles of Hallmark films today, and it made me sad. There was one called Hauling for Holly, like HAUL, Hauling for Holly, HOLLY, her name.
Was it a professional mover?
I'm sure it was. I don't know.
What was the one I watched? I watched a Hallmark movie on my flight back from Colorado when we was flying back from Bruce Fest 22 in Estes Park, Colorado.
Eric and I watched 1.5 on the way to Denver.
1.5 on the way.
1.5. Yep.
Without sound.
Without sound. No sound.
Yeah.
So
and what did you guys do? What were you guys able to do? Tell me.
We were sitting there analyzing the movie and predicting plot points.
And you were what?
Pretty close.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
Eric would just plug his headphones in for just 5 sentences just to make sure we're on track.
Just to, see, okay, the dialogue is still matching what we're talking about, that's actually, honestly, I'll say this to anyone who's interested in doing filmmaking or other sort of storytelling, or cinematography, really, specifically, if you're wanting to like get into that sort of thing, watch some movies without like the sound on, and just that you'll learn more about like visual storytelling that way, and then learn how to talk to people about.
Strangely, the second one him and I watched, it had so much symbolism going on. Actually, it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
For a Hallmark film, we're like, golly.
Right. Yeah.
So the one I watched was called #Xmas is what I watched.
Hashtag. Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that one on the.
It's a woman owns a home decor store where she makes all her own home decor, and her ex make a video of them being a family to get on a show. And it gets on the show because of the perfect couple, and then like she's torn between revealing the truth or I don't know.
Whatever Hallmark does. So
Xmas. But the funny thing was, if my flight would have been like just a little bit later than it was, I would have gotten to watch the other Bruce Campbell Christmas movie because it came on right after. I got to see the opening credits, and that was it. My flight landed.
The universe is against you.
Yeah.
No, they just want to watch it for.
Next Christmas.
Next Christmas.
No, Ty, you have to wait.
Yeah, like you have to wait for this one.
Come.
We'll tease it now, but it's coming later. So
I'm telling you, if we go to Bruce Fest next year and it's in Estes Park again, which I think it is, we should definitely watch and record the episode in Estes Park.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, record it in a Hallmark town. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Michael looks like he enjoys that idea.
So I'd be down for that because Ben and I are totally already down to go. We're like, we'll do it. I think the only thing that can't be moved at this point is like our wedding.
Oh, I can move.
Even then,
that's cute. You think you're still getting married?
Cute.
Dates were made to be moved. Yeah, canceled.
Time is fluid. All right, I'm going to start running through this film and just stop me whenever.
Baby. Let's do it.
Yeah, whenever you want to stop and talk about stuff, you just let me know because I'm cheating. I'll admit it. I'm just watching on 2x speed on YouTube.
I've got a lot to say about this, and I'll go and tell you, not a lot of bad. So,
oh wow.
Right. So the movie opens up with just hella backstory, just right off the jump. We get that like. They're music stars. We get young pictures of them. They're making hits.
They were on the cover of Rocking Sheet magazine, so I don't want to. Don't just roll past that. They were on the cover of Rocking Sheet magazine.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
I had to rewind it because I thought it was Rolling Stone. I was like, no way they had a Rolling Stone pass on this. I was like, oh, it's a Rocking Sheet magazine.
and their number one song, it shows it real quick, One December Night, just right up the charts as any typical movie like that does.
You get to see a lot of cool like real life footage of young Bruce, young Peter Gallagher.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
On the red carpet.
And then there's like news clippings or something that just shows like they broke up and they split.
Yeah.
And
10 years ago.
Yeah, then we're just 10 years later in Manhattan. Christmas is in the air. We got nutcrackers. We got a woman getting coffee who is one of our main characters. What was her name again?
Quinn.
Cue ball.
Cue ball.
I would call
Cue ball and J-Bug. That's what they should have called this. The Adventures of Cue Ball and J-Bug.
And she's just getting coffee. She's talking on the phone about just music stuff because we find out she's basically a music promoter, like an artist agent sort of thing. Yeah, she's getting not Starbucks.
Having a not Starbucks latte.
Not one single fluid holding device in this film had any fluid in it. All these cups had no liquid.
No.
I even there was none. I was checking for some reason. That was something I was looking for when the movie started. I was like, I bet those are fucking empty.
It costs money to fill cups.
Yeah.
You can see it in the very first scene because let me tell you, I've done a lot of coffee runs in my day. And I'm telling you right fucking now, without like a little paper container, you are not holding those coffee cups by the bottom and then by the top. You will burn your fingers.
Not in a Hallmark film, Bailey. You forgot. Not in a Hallmark film.
Because the cups are empty.
Which it confuses me that they weren't Starbucks cups because they mentioned Starbucks at some point. In there.
I think it's easier to mention than show like the logos.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Because then they can monetize off the logo.
Right.
And they'll sue the shit out of Hallmark film to get, whatever. Yeah, so she comes up, she comes out of the not Starbucks and then she looks over and there's this girl playing a guitar, singing Christmas music on the street. Everyone's gathered around. She's, they're making eye contact, smiling and stuff. And boy, the whitest teeth you'll ever see is on this singer.
Oh man,
yeah, that's a smile that could blind you.
I'll tell you what, the only liquid those people drank on that set was Clorox because they all had the whitest fucking teeth. That's what it was. They were like making them gurgle fucking Clorox because every person in this pearly white.
That's probably what's in that not Starbucks cup. It's like drink your fucking Clorox on this teeth, why don't you?
Yeah, your teeth are looking a little off white. Get that shit fixed.
no eggshell here. It is white. Their set too. My God, it was blinding at times. Like their set was just white.
Even the windows.
Walls,
A lot of white in there.
Yeah.
Well, I told you about the windows.
Ain't no
Eric.
room for color in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, I told Eric about the windows. In Hallmark films, they blow the shit out of the windows so you don't know what time of day it is. It's just day at all times.
You can't tell it's not snowing out because they're filming it in the summer, probably.
It's bright. Snow makes everything bright. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Blinds the shit out of you.
It looked like they were in heaven.
I remember Mike and I watched a couple of Hallmark movies back in the day when we was like researching some stuff, and like it's funny how you could just like tell they were like shot in like the summer, but they would just keep tight shots and there'd be a pile of snow off in the corner of the shot. That's how you knew it was winter.
We watched the one. We watched the one they didn't even care to try. They said like no snow, just we're on this ranch. They didn't even bother. It's just like it's just cold. Just accept that it's cold.
We're wearing sweaters for God's sakes.
It's freezing out here. Come on,
sweating, just drenched in sweat. They're filming it in mid-August.
So these two pairs of white teeth talk to each other. We find out she represents that guitar player. I don't remember her name.
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Okay.
Jasmine. Yeah.
I'm horrible with names, so you'll have to ask that. I'll ask that this whole thing. And so they talk for a little bit. We get the idea that she represents her in some way. And then she's off to her office talking to her friend, kind of going on about like she's not finding a big break for her artist who's out there singing on the streets. Because what's a big theme in this movie for the music part of it is like she kept her own publishing rights and everything. So it's harder to find her work.
And she talked her into like moving to New York and stuff. She feels kind of responsible for like Jasmine's in a bit of a financial hole. Apparently, she's more worried about it than Jasmine is.
Oh yeah,
it seems like it.
Right. And she sets out this little Bluetooth and she starts playing her song. And then her boss walks by. She's like, "Who's that?"
I love that. Who's that? That's my new client. Turn it off. We're trying to work.
Turn that trash off, God.
Yeah. So you immediately
they had some great bits in this fucking movie.
But like they turned it around real quick. She's just a stern, hard-working mentor, kind of person.
She don't fuck around. She needs results.
Yeah.
No villain in this movie. No
villain. There really isn't.
No, that was
just contention.
Circumstantial and everything.
Life.
Yeah, circumstantial.
Right. Then her boss makes another phone call, and then we meet our other man, Mr. Handsome. What was his name?
J-Bug.
J-Bug.
Tyler goes strictly just they're by their name, their nicknames.
J-Bug and Q-Ball.
They just like took the first letter of each person's name. And
yeah, I was like, that's what you call them.
Because I'm like, he was calling her Q-Ball before I like got used to her name being Quinn. It's
so
like, okay, blonde protagonist, but it's Q-Ball. I'm like, oh my God, what is her past like?
Well, E-Man, what are you supposed to call somebody?
I don't know, T-Guy.
Go ahead, M-Dog. Keep going.
B-Dog, why are you letting this happen?
Dog and B-Dog.
Can't have two dogs in this. That's lazy nicknaming. Come on.
Lazy nicknaming right there.
You should call me boss. Fuck y'all, bitches.
B-Boss.
B-Boss.
I like it less.
Oh, Queen Bee.
No, that's Beyonce. Moving on. So, we meet him. She's talking to her phone. And I guess he's having issues of basically promoting this event, and she's sitting like her son out there, which kind of plays a role in all this.
Yeah, mildly. He I guess would be the villain for a brief scene, I think.
I wouldn't even say villain. He was just kind of like just trying to help, I guess.
Yeah, just being an idiot.
He's adult. He's what? Lacks confidence. Troy, right?
He's played by a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably.
He's a 15-year-old shoved into an oversized suit. What do you expect? He's on some Christmas break and his aunt shipped him out to fucking Colorado.
He is kind of the closest thing we have to a villain, and it's just like, man, would you just quit fucking things up?
Yeah, he's just unlikable. He's just mildly unlikable. Not even totally unlikable, just kind of mildly.
Just mildly, yeah.
What was with the gray and black blazer
that he was wearing?
Yeah. Like he had like this check gray. It bothered me a lot because he would wear it with like a horizontally striped hoodie that had like orange and purple and everything in it. And then he would have on like this really nice gray and black check lined blazer.
And in Hallmark movies, if you're not wearing red or green, you're a fucking monster.
Pretty much. Not just so you know, Bailey, you got red hair. You're safe.
You're safe.
Yeah. It's always in your color scheme now.
Yeah.
So he's struggling to promote this event. What's the event called again? Do they have a name for it?
It's just the Bedford and Sullivan reunion at Big Red. Yeah, Christmas at Big Red.
Yeah,
Christmas at Big Red.
Why was the house called Big Red?
Because it's a big red house.
It's big and red.
And when you think Christmas, you think big and red. Okay.
Yeah.
So she
gets to be like Big Apple, like a play on Big Apple, like it's this small town's big thing. It's the Big Apple, baby, but it's the Big Red.
It's a big red house.
Nah, it's just efficient storytelling. You got a big red house and you got big red.
Every time.
Why think too hard on it?
Yeah, don't think too hard on it.
Okay.
So because
think efficient.
Because he's having such a hard time, trying to sell this event and promote it and everything, she comes back out and grabs the girl and is like, "Hey, come with me." She's like, "Oh no, am I in trouble?" kind of thing. And they go on this park bench drinking their not Starbucks, and she's kind of like, "I need you to go help such and such with promoting this event." And she's like, "Why me though?" And because we're not okay, like why is she being so coy about it? And this is where we find out that she is the daughter of which one? Sullivan.
Mike Sullivan.
Did you see that coming?
Oh no, totally not.
I didn't.
No, actually, I didn't. I kind of thought I figured she'd be related to one of them, but I didn't really.
I didn't even think that. I thought she'd just be a person. I was like, oh, just
like a sign to try to just bring this band back together.
Yeah.
I didn't expect as many family ties as ended up being, but that happened so early on too. I didn't really have time to consider it, but yeah.
Right. And she's not really wanting to go because she hasn't talked to her dad in like 5 years or something.
Yeah.
And so she's really not wanting to go, but it's like, then her boss tells her, it's like, well, if you get this show to happen, you can have your artist open for them and get her on the map is the whole thing.
Yeah. Which is huge.
So that's her win scenario.
So
for guys as special as these guys. Yeah.
Apparently they were like the biggest rock stars.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the magazine? Rocking Sheet magazine.
Yeah, they were Rocking Sheet magazine. You don't just get the cover of Rocking Sheet magazine. You earn that.
Because they rock.
So then she goes to this town. She travels. She's going to go help out, and then we get to see that they're doing. What are they doing? We go back to the Pretty Boy, and this is where we meet Bruce Campbell.
Steve Bedford.
Yes.
Bedford and Sullivan. Oh my God. I love later on when we talk about the bit for how they got the name. Fucking love that. Ugh.
And a weird thing, I don't know why they made it a thing in this film. Actually, never mind. I do remember why. Because he comes in and then he shows him like this bobblehead. It's like, hey, we got merchandise. Here's you as a bobblehead.
Yep.
And he's like, cool. I look nice as a bobblehead.
Yeah.
Which is important for later.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
I just remembered why it was important.
Later, that third act, that was as close I ever came to crying in a Bruce Campbell movie. That bout got me. Got me. No games. That about got me.
It's probably about the closest you ever came to crying for a Hallmark film, even.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
So so that happens, and then we come back to Pretty Girl, and she's walking up, and she goes and meets up with the guy, Mr. Pretty Face.
J-Bug.
I'm not going to remember him. J-Bug and Q-Ball.
J-Bug and Q-Ball.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just get on that train because I ain't going to remember the real name.
Yeah, it's J-Bug, Q-Ball. It's just...
Yeah, so she's there looking for J-Bug, but not really. She's just like whoever's in charge of promoting.
Oh, yeah. She didn't even know who she was going to be talking to.
Which they're on the same...
so happens to be.
Yeah, but they're on the same like label or whatever, or agency, whatever they're a part of.
Yeah.
They're on the same agency, so why wouldn't she know?
Yeah, because J-Bug, it turns out, is the manager of Steve Bedford and also his son?
What?
Wow.
That's just wacky.
That's wacky circumstances right there.
A
Crazy.
son helping promote his dad.
And it surprised her. It
surprised her, as did all of us.
So they go have this little dinner, lunch thing or whatever they're doing, and they're catching up. And through this, we kind of figure out why the two, well, not really. We find out that he doesn't own, her dad doesn't own his publishing rights anymore.
Yeah. Right. So basically the reason that Q-Ball has been sent out, why it's such a dire thing for her to be out there, is so her company is backing this huge Christmas at Big Red special, it's TV special, where it's the reunion of Bedford and Sullivan. But Bedford and Sullivan are so contentious toward each other. There is basically it's in doubt whether or not this is an actual reunion because Sullivan and Bedford have yet to even be seen together.
Right.
There's no promotional images, nothing.
Yeah, because that's right. They're threatening to drop the show if they can't get promotional material out there.
Right.
Which they can't get Sullivan to cooperate with. He just
Sullivan is not cooperative. That was the cool thing. I liked a lot of this movie. I'm gonna say I like that there was Bedford had his reasons for like you kind of felt like at the beginning you're like, oh, he just kind of a maybe a greedy dumb guy who just wants to bask in stardom.
Yeah.
And you also feel like Sullivan is just being this like hardened asshole who just doesn't want, they call him at the beginning the tortured artist.
Yeah.
Mike Sullivan. So I like that. I liked how they did that. They Bedford is like very pro, like let's get this going, let's get this moving. But Sullivan just was not at all wanting to cooperate.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was gonna be Bruce's character. I'm used to Bruce kind of being the more defiant one in the movies and whatnot. And
Right.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right.
the responsible one, and then we'll see it later in the film as well. Him, really hunkering down and being like the dad figure. It's really cool. I liked it. It was really good. I have to admit, I was not expecting most of what happened in this Hallmark film.
Right, and for reasons we'll talk about later, I think they made a good choice putting Bruce as this role.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
I think so too.
My God.
So we find out that Cue Ball and J Bug are at odds.
Cue Ball and J Bug.
We find that they're still at odds over their parents' disagreements and such.
Yeah, because J Bug was directly involved with the decision to move Mike Sullivan out of the publishing rights, right?
And he lets her know, like, he didn't even fight it or anything. He just signed it over.
Yeah,
said,
he just said go for it.
But they decide, like, okay, we're going to work together. Let's just make this a working relationship, as Hallmark movies do, and like we'll just promote this event and get it going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's also a part where they kind of meet the parents, and there's a moment where they talk about their parents hating each other, like their fathers hate each other, and having all these bad things say about each other. But they both mention, my dad said, the best thing about your dad was how well you treated me. And they're like, same. That's the thing they always said, that no matter what, they always treated the kids like they were their own. They called J-Bug calls Mike Uncle Mike, and Cue Ball calls Steve Uncle Steve.
Yeah,
and
which makes the kiss later weird, actually, if you think about
it.
And that's where Cue Ball comes with the genius idea. Hey, maybe since our dads seem to like the other more than their own kids, maybe we can use that to our advantage, and we'll swap parents, to the old classic parent swap.
Yeah.
And
we get there
get
a couple
shit done. Get this shit done.
But after their dinner, we come back and we see Bruce. He's just signing a bunch of things, just
signing shit,
like kind of obsessively. And this is at the moment where J-Bug actually books his dad. He's like, hey, I got you a residency in Vegas. It's going to be great. And he's kind of like, Bruce is kind of like talking about, he's like, I don't know if I really want to do that or whatever.
Yeah, he's kind of against it.
A residency is like where you basically like you're just like daily.
You're just there,
at a hotel, right? Or
pretty much. A lot of artists still do
job
like
and place to live, right?
Yeah. Some artists will do it just like short term. Like I know, who's one that's done it recently. I know they tried to get Adele in there for like. Sometimes they'll be just for like a week, like 2 weeks at a time or something. But yeah, they basically live there and they have like a nightly show that they do.
Yeah,
and people can come. I think
Brittany was. Yeah, she was. She had.
Yeah, Brittany was. I think Barry Manilow has been there for years with the residency. Some people do really just kind of end their careers there as a residency because you might as well.
Right, good money, probably super easy. Your
living situation's all taken care of. You don't got to worry about like calling a plumber or nothing.
Probably eating like on the casino dime. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be nice. Yeah, it's got to be a good way to close out your career.
Yeah, I think even who was it? Patton Oswalt. He said he had a Vegas show, and they take care of you like beyond belief, sort of thing out there. He was talking about his experience, and boy, he's like it's ridiculous money, and they just really take care of you.
Was that the one where he he was talking about in his stand-up show where he had that residency. He said most of the nights it'd just be drunk people like yelling out things.
Yeah, he said he couldn't
agreeing with it.
He's like, I spent an hour and a half of people just yelling my own movies at me.
Yeah, just people yelling Ratatouille, and him going yeah, and then just applauding, and then
easiest gig I've ever had.
Then an hour and a half's up, and you walk off stage and you're paid.
He was like, I was worried about it because I really didn't get to do anything, and he's like, the promoter's like, no, that was a great show. Can't wait till the next one. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. So next in this film, we go over to Cue Ball, and she goes to her father's house, his house is on like this
It's
tour.
Big Red.
Yeah, it's like a Hollywood tour stop and everything.
Yeah.
So we see like a tour bus pull off and everything.
Oh my God, he has a line about that later. It just like hit me. I was like, man, this has some good fucking lines in it. You stripped out a lot of the cheesy shit. This has been a great movie.
Yeah,
but yeah. So his house is basically just being like bombarded with people, touring it. It's famously Big Red, which is the place where Bedford and Sullivan wrote all their songs. Is Big Red.
Yeah, I think they even recorded like a live album there or something.
Yeah, Mike Sullivan. This is his family home.
Yeah.
Which still takes place in Pineville, which is the hometown of Mike Sullivan and Steve Bedford.
Yeah.
Right.
And they brought a lot of revenue to the town too. Like all kinds of tourism, like it put it on the map finally. I'm sure it it's like this is more on like the business side, but I'm sure it definitely instigated a lot of like different businesses coming into the town. To get it in there because it was such a hot spot. So like they did a lot for the town. There's a line in there where one of the people do recognize that. So it's cool.
Yeah. It's something that Norma, played by Dee Khan, brought up, was like, it's not just the money though, it's also the music.
Yeah. That was the line. Yeah. I made it sound like they just came right out with it, but no, they cheesed it over.
You're being more realistic about it. It brought in money, which was good for
it brought the money.
But it brought the music too.
Yeah, the music.
Brought the two greatest M's.
So Mike also reveals in this that he is losing the house, going to lose Big Red.
Yeah, reveals he's losing the house, he's broke, and then Cue Ball actually finds out kind of that her dad is the reason why she has the job that she has. Yeah, because her boss like gave him a call, and then she has some upset feelings about that because
she gets over that pretty quick. She's like
they get over everything pretty quick in this film time.
Yeah, I like he
on the phone, and her boss, I don't like that question, and then that's it. It's done.
And her dad tells her like, oh, they were going to hire you anyways. They just wanted to call me and check or something.
Verify,
verify.
I totally liked, what was her name? Dee or Dee? Diane.
Whoops, hang on. Got you. Dee plays Norma.
No, Diane.
The boss?
The boss.
Oh,
the boss. Anyway, the way she was like, I don't like that question. I'm not going to answer it. Basically, I'm like, that's how I would handle that unless they pressed. So
like, there's no reason to talk about this. How's the promotion going?
Yeah, you have the job.
Off topic. This is not why I called you.
But she's there trying to talk her dad into doing the show, and he's all like, I'm broke, losing the house. He's like, I'm also not a show pony, so I'm not one to do this.
Yeah, well, he was wanting to do the show, but not the promo shit. So he's like, I signed up for a concert, not, whatever. So, but they're like, the concert's not going to happen without you showing up for promo shit.
Well, he does say, I didn't go to music school or I didn't take the class in music school where it says you have to pose for pictures.
Yeah, and it's like, but that's
not the world we live in.
You do that though.
Right, you do that.
You have to do that.
Honestly, they could just take a picture of each of them and Photoshop together. I don't know what hullabaloo was.
About getting them in the same room.
About getting in the same room was...
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Cue Ball makes a preemptive call to call her artist, like, hey, I'm going to get this show going and you're going to be opening for it, just to put extra pressure on herself. Why not?
Right. Why not? Yeah. Now she has two people's financial futures in her hands.
Because two is better than one.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
The more the merrier.
So then we go back to Bruce. He's there taking pictures with all his fans and everything.
Yeah.
And then he sees Cue Ball, like, Cue Ball, hey, and gives her a hug. Tyler, you're in love with these nicknames for some reason.
Ball and J-Bug.
It's just like bro names, but they're not.
I know, they throw them in there. Cue Ball and J-Bug.
Ball and J-Bug.
And then we kind of get the idea that they're both struggling to get their dads on board. Well, it's not Bruce. Again, it's not Bruce really.
No, Bruce is all game. He's all game.
But we do kind of like through some of their conversations, we find out more about J-Bug and Bruce. J-Bug's relationship with his father is kind of like, he's like, we could be in the same room, but it feels more distant than, So they're just, it's like strictly work. You can't get them to go fishing or any of the other stuff that they probably used to do.
Even I was thinking about that earlier before they even brought it up. Like, it did always just felt like he was his manager. I was like, man, they kind of shoehorned in this father-son thing. That made sense later on, but I was like, man,
it started to make sense.
If they hadn't elaborate on that, I was like, man, there's just some lazy writing. They're just like, oh, by the way, you're his son. Yeah, but we're not going to linger on that.
Efficient storytelling.
Yeah, they clean it up. They cleaned it up. They explained it later. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it made sense later and influenced the plot later. So
that was one thing that was actually probably the greatest thing about this movie is everything came is like they tied everything together in a lovely little Christmas package.
They did.
They really did. Everything just was nice. Like there were no unanswered questions. Like everything was just down and to the point.
So good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the point where they Cue Ball comes up with the whole brilliant idea. She's like decorating, and then she comes up with the brilliant idea. She's like, wait, and then she wakes up J-Bug. Like, hey, I got the great idea. Your dad likes me, and my dad likes you. Why don't we just switch, and we'll try to make each of them do the thing?
And he's like,
do the old parent swap.
And before he didn't even really agree to it. He was still like asleep. Really? Yeah. He just I just go back to bed, like whatever, fuck off. He didn't say fuck off because it's a Hallmark film, but still.
Right.
But you have to say that.
But sure enough, the next morning he wakes up and she's already up and she's already got the Bruce doing the promo pictures and everything. Oh, yeah. And he's like, wow, this might actually work. I guess I better go see your dad.
Yeah.
Because she phrased it as like quality time.
Yeah. Yes. And they spend quality time with Cue Ball.
Yeah.
Which is like the oldest trick in the book. You get someone to do what you know they want to do, and then as they're in a good mood, you're like, hey,
I mean,
let's do the thing you need to do.
This whole movie really is a couple of people manipulating two old men
for financial gain.
Wow, this is a sad story.
Man, it's a lot. Hallmark did it flawlessly.
They made you feel cheerful about it.
Yeah. They're like, go. You convince these old men to do things against their will. It's fine. Just have a good family quality time. And okay, I guess I'll do this.
And one has a mental disorder. It's horrible.
Yeah. Spoilers.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
It wasn't against their will, though. They were like, no, this is good. We'll do it. Like, I'm having a good time. So, like, they were having fun. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. They sure. Okay, I'll agree.
They were having fun.
So she drives old J-Bug to her dad's house, and she has to teach him the secret knock, so he'll open the door because it's the secret knock they came up with for reasons that I don't really care about.
Hands are always coming up to the door.
Yeah, it's because there's always getting people. Come to the door.
Oh, that makes sense. And then he opens the door, like, hey, someone taught you the secret knock, blah blah blah. And they come in and they're catching up. Like, haven't seen him in years either. So he's sitting there trying to talk Sullivan into doing the promo and everything. It's going to be great. Trying to think of the reasons he gave him. Uncle Mike.
Well, he really said he could just hang out. Like, oh no, I'm here for a sandwich.
Yes, he's there for a sandwich.
Yeah. But
he's basically just like, I'm not going to give Steve the satisfaction or something. He's like, I'll go show him.
Yeah. Let him do promo pictures all by himself. Yeah.
Right. So then they get together, and Sullivan shows up, and because they're still worried about it at this point that they're going to get the show dropped because they're not together taking pictures and everything. Yeah. But he finally shows up, and they're like, hey, let's do this thing. And the most non-tension in the world after these guys not seeing each other for 10 years.
Oh my God, yeah.
But it led to, this was one of my favorite scenes, was them posing for pictures while they're arguing back and forth.
Yeah.
That was a good banter back and forth, just how they were doing it.
I wanted more. I was excited because I thought it was like ramping up to get it escalated a little. Not as much as I would have liked, just being Bruce.
It escalated as far as a Hallmark movie's willing to go.
No. I'll say in that scene, they could have hit each other harder with those candy canes, man.
No.
Still got some fight in him.
That's too much conflict.
Yeah, that was near and TVM Hallmark standards.
Yeah.
At which
point too much violence.
Calm down the violence. So,
at which point was it
violent?
At which point was it revealed to us that Sullivan basically was alcoholic, essentially? When was that first revealed?
At the beginning.
I think we learned at the beginning, but we didn't get any details. We just knew he was drunk and blew a show. Like he was so drunk he couldn't even play or something like that.
Right. But yeah, they're doing the promo shots and you got the guitars and stuff, and they hand them these candy cane things. Like, here, guys, take pictures of these.
Yeah, get you more in the holiday spirit.
Yeah, get you more in the holiday spirit.
And
they just start hitting each other with it, and then Bruce eventually flows a big inflatable snowman at Sullivan. It's a big old fight. It's a big old tussle.
What a calamity.
Listen, Frosty didn't ask to be in that fight. There was no reason to.
Poor Frosty.
I was expecting Bruce to like get up on the chair and like start hitting Peter in the head with the thing, but I guess I don't know. I'm becoming more violent in my old age.
With you. It would have been fun to see it like turn into like just ever so slightly like a bit of a sword fight.
Yes.
Like, it would have been funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Get a little more physical stuff out of Bruce, but
I don't know.
That's why he joined up with Hallmark, maybe to get
a little easier on himself.
Yeah.
Like, I've done a lot of action movies, guys.
After the fight, they go have the J-Bug and Q-Ball go have dinner, and they're talking about what just happened and everything, and they make a date to hang out later that night.
Yeah.
Then J-Bug goes and finds his dad, Bruce, again, just signing things, with intent. And even at this point, I didn't think something was up necessarily. I thought he was just I don't know what I thought.
Yeah. I knew something immediately when that bobblehead came up. I knew what they were doing. As soon as they did the bobblehead thing, it was, why did my bobblehead? And like, well, you asked for it. He was like, oh, yeah. I knew exactly what they were doing.
Bailey picked up on it in his very first scene, too.
I called it from the get-go.
Yeah, I was like, Bruce is going to have Alzheimer's.
They had to slap me in the face with it. I didn't find out until... I didn't figure... I just knew something was up, but I didn't try to put it together until the studio recording scene when they're recording the promos for radio and such.
Yeah. You got to watch out when Hallmark starts going over your head, Mike. You might want to get checked out.
I might.
He's still probably experiencing a little jet lag.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll call it that.
No, I was fighting a little shit cat that was being an asshole the whole time.
Yeah.
But I just knew something was up as best I was paying attention, and I was just like, oh, he has fucking Alzheimer's or something.
Right.
I knew it because there had to be a crisis. Yes. I hadn't seen a crisis yet. So I was like, it's got to be an illness. Something. And then Brucey forgot something. Although, we're going to talk about it more, but mad props to Bruce on this one. I mean, Bruce typically doesn't.
Almost got me, Bruce.
I hope they had to pay extra for that acting.
I was as close to drawing a tear as I ever have been in a movie in a long while. Just not a horror movie, but a long while.
It got a Bailey screech. I'm not going to lie. It did get the Bailey screech of, I won't do it again. But.
Right. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't notice it sooner. I know you guys are on the ball. Whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Deeper meanings and all.
I'm not looking for the symbolism. That's why I watch rom-coms. They're very simple. I don't have to think about it.
We're just more cultured moviegoers than you are, Michael. It's fine.
It's a good
I know Tyler will claim that too, Bailey. So be careful throwing that word "cultured" around. Ben will get upset with you. You thought you were getting married, huh?
Culture.
Yeah.
Culture. It's all about getting a little bit of culture.
Didn't hit this world. I thought that was just like a off there thing. I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, I bet Ben's looking at you upset right now, isn't he?
Ben on this. Ben should go on this.
I asked him and he said, nah, this is all you, babe.
I'm sure he has thoughts about it.
He'd been embarrassed by how much he didn't like how much he didn't hate this movie. He'd be like,
he watched it and he didn't really have any complaints that he said out loud.
Yeah, that's usually pretty good. Yeah, he finished the movie, so that's good.
He didn't have a choice; it's in his house being watched.
No, I think we all I think we all enjoyed it. That's all I'm gonna say.
You can't not enjoy these movies.
So J-Bug and Q-Ball go on this date.
Two certainties in this world. You can't hate a Hallmark movie, and a rock can't make a bad movie. So two certainties.
So J-Bug and Q-Ball are on a date. And they're getting not Starbucks again, which they use like the same kind of cups and stuff. Yeah. I hated this scene. I cannot swear by it, but it felt like this entire scene where they're out here drinking their coffees with empty cups and this truck scene with a snow overlay going on. It all sounded ADR. every bit of it for some reason to me. I don't know if y'all picked up on that.
Probably I did.
I'm a sound guy, you know.
Mike went to community college and learned what sound was, so now he's an expert on it.
He paid for his MBA.
Barely.
Yeah.
So they're on this date.
Just make your tuition out the cash.
Yeah, our dean is named Cash.
Yes. Cash.
That's not telling at all.
Right. No last name, just Cash.
Yeah.
Like Snoop Dogg or something.
Yeah, no, where's the nearest liquor store so I can cash this, man?
They're charging me a $3 fee to cash it, but it's fine.
Can you drive us?
Looking at that check, just like cash. Well, no shit. Who's it from?
Do you mind giving us a ride?
Yeah, you're going to get a great education here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're on this date, and I think
nothing much happens on the date. They do go talk to like the record store lady. Nothing too revealing here, other than there's just some tension of likeness between them.
Yeah, and this is where it stopped. Honestly, I thought, I know they've known each other forever and have like, you know, they grew up together and know each other, but like he just suddenly becomes like, they both just suddenly become enamored with each other. It felt like to me, they went from this like, oh, it's all work and whatever, and there's this family tension, and now, you know, oh, we're both giving each other the doe eyes.
It's because he gave her his hat. He gave her the
I know he gave her the hat.
It's so cute.
Maybe it's just because they had a moment away from work. Like this movie hasn't given me enough not to give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt.
See, a less efficient movie would have done something like it introduced an antagonist, or like, you know, she already has an asshole boyfriend, but that eats up time.
You're right.
Yeah. We gotta get to the point. Yeah. These two like each other. They always have.
Yeah.
This is A/B storytelling, baby. This is A/B storytelling. That's all we got. Beginning to end, and keep it as efficient as possible.
This
we got 15 days to shoot this. Yeah.
Why'd you spend so long writing it? Cut off scenes 5 through 18, and we'll make this film in 15 days. Come on.
5 through 18. We're gonna have a 4-minute long music video in the finale. we're gonna shoot with this character who's barely been in the movie.
So after they're well, though.
Yeah. Whoever sang,
Jasmine sang.
Yeah, Jasmine. That's what I was saying. Yeah, this character that came up in the beginning, then we spend 4 minutes establishing a music video for her.
Yeah.
Do you think Bruce and the other guy actually sang?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
The other guy did.
Gallagher did. I looked it up. I think someone else was credited with the other part of that song, because I looked up the One December Night song and who sang it, and I think there's someone else credited. But so I don't know. Listening to it, it's like I'm not quite sure that is Bruce. Like I know he sang for the Old Spice commercials.
Okay, let me tell you something.
That stood out.
Let me tell you something about that Old Spice commercial. That is Brucey, baby. That is not. Listen, because here's what happened. I listened to Peter. Is it Gallagher? Gallagher. Yeah, Peter.
Gher.
Okay. I wanted to make sure it was Gallagher and not Galloway. Right. Peter, I listened to Peter Gallagher sing right before I watched the Old Spice commercial, and it was Peter Gallagher singing "Luck Be a Lady" live with an orchestra, and then I went to the Old Spice commercial. That was a very big difference.
Yeah, Gallagher's really good. He's a very good singer.
He's a very, very good singer. Yeah. The Old Spice commercial is a lot of cheese. It's a lot of cheese.
Yeah, it's a lot of cheese and charisma. It's like, it's the kind of singing that like you could do if you're just like not really gonna sing it, but you're kind of more speaking smooth.
What's the word when you're scatting?
Scatting?
Kind of William Shatner. It's calling up William Shatner sort of. I think that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's noodling, like Jeff Goldblum. It's noodling. Like I'm just noodling around.
Well, let's get us to this first scene where we do see these pairs sing together after 10 years. Because the next morning after the date, old J-Bug goes on fishing with Sullivan.
Yeah.
And then while they're out fishing, and then Sullivan actually kind of leaks a story about how they actually met, because they made up a different story for the public to know. What was their public story?
The public story was they met in school, I think, wasn't it? Or they met?
Yeah, because it was relating to someone else.
Yeah,
but they basically met fishing. And then Bruce was like, what's Bruce's character's name? I'm going to Bruce.
Steve Bedford.
Steve Bedford.
Yeah, so Steve was upstream from Sullivan, and he was like stealing his fish, and he came up there, and he's like, and that was your first. J-Bug was like, that was your all's first fight, right? He's like, no, actually, he showed me how to fish some way better, some fish talk.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the reason they didn't go with the fish story is like it wasn't relatable. essentially is what they got at.
He said the publicist said it wasn't. Said fishing wasn't relatable.
So, but while they're out fishing, Steve, he's at Big Red. He's on the steps and he's getting a photo op. He's actually doing like an interview style thing. And then when they come back, Sullivan's like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Yeah.
There's trespassers on my property.
Yeah.
He's like, "How was your day?" He's like, "I was doing a lot better until I seen there's trespassers on my property."
Let's be happy it's a Hallmark movie and not a hippity hoppity kind of situation.
And then the carolers come up. They all gather around Bruce on the stoop there.
Yep.
And the lady, what's her name? I don't know.
Lady Cue Ball.
Lorraine?
Cue Ball.
No, not Cue Ball. The other woman that brought the carolers. She's like, you both should get up there and sing with the carolers.
Oh.
And this was so weird to see them try to figure out this song.
I know.
Oh, I know. It was like one of the most common songs ever, and they were like, "How do we do this?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it was.
Like mumbling along with it for a while.
I was thinking, I was like, kindergartners learned this song.
These are actual children singing this.
Yeah, I don't know if we can.
Realizing how out of sync they are.
Yeah, that's all they were getting at, because they eventually do come together in the end there.
Yeah.
I like it after they're done. They do the whole argument. It's like, you always go high. And he's like, no, you go high like in One December Night. See, that's why you can't sing it right, because you go low. I like that little argument they had with the.
Anytime they're going back and forth is a lot of fun. It's pretty neat. And then they like go inside to the piano.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving each other advice and kind of getting a little bickery, but they start, kind of settling into to playing and stuff. I liked their interactions, but I always felt like it was kind of cut short. Like I think there was too much focus on the had more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the story's about the J-Bug and Cue Ball, really.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And I felt the same way. I was like, man, I want to see more of this, but I felt like every time you started to get a little into it, it was like, what's J-Bug and Cue Ball up to?
Yeah, because we basically hang on the porch swing with them while they're playing the song, because you hear them playing the song the whole time in the background, figuring it out, but you do focus on Cue Ball and J-Bug the whole time. Yeah,
and that's where Cue Ball kind of reveals to J-Bug what the stakes are. Sullivan's going to lose the house, and her client Jasmine will never get her big break.
And something I'm surprised they didn't harp on a little bit more, because then J-Bug and Cue Ball are hanging out again, being all cutesy in this store, and he basically never had like a Christmas after he's 10 years old or something. He was never there for Christmas, because his mom would always take him off somewhere where it was just tropical or something.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't harp on that more, where he was just doing more Christmas traditional things. I don't know. I just figured they would have harped on that more.
Yeah.
J-Bug also did tell Cue Ball that if the show doesn't happen, the Vegas-y residents won't go through.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
the show does have to happen.
That's right. They reveal the stakes both ways. Yeah.
Which at that point, I just would have looked at both dads and been like, so you guys are going to have to do this because it affects both of our careers. So love you both. You guys are going to retire very happy.
Basically affecting 5 people's careers, these two guys coming together.
Right. Yeah. And they they need to be told that straight up, because neither one of them are like bad enough people that they'd be like, nah, fuck it. It'd be like,
they're good dudes.
Yeah.
They're genuinely good guys.
Yeah.
So both of them are in their own ways, but they're very different also.
Yeah.
So.
And I think we're kind of learning also that Sullivan in all this is like the better musician out of both of them. Like, so it really is kind of more shitty that he lost his publishing, because he definitely was the more musical one.
Yeah, he's the one who wrote all the songs. It sounds like he wrote all the songs.
Right.
So they even say like at the beginning something like Sullivan be nothing without Bedford's harmony, but Bedford be nothing without Sullivan's songs.
Yeah. Right.
Something like at the beginning.
Right. It was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because we get the clue he knows more even, and Steve just kind of follows his lead, because they go to start rehearsing and everything for the music, and Sullivan has 1,000-foot worth of power cord that takes his amp and everything all the way outside.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, we got to get used to playing the cold. The show's going to be outside. Shrink. And just basically saying all the words, and Steve is just like, yeah, I'll go get my guitar then.
Yeah. Have someone set it up, or it was something like that. Yeah. But he was like, yep, okay, good point, but he's not the one who thought of it. Right.
So then we just get a good old montage of them rehearsing. And J-Bug and Cue Ball being cutesy together.
Cue Ball gets more Christmas decorations.
Yeah. Sullivan starts opening up. He takes away his private property sign, because he won't care that people's come to his house anymore.
Yeah. He's starting to open up.
They're deciding their set list, still practicing outside. And then we start my slap in the face. We start seeing Steve in the studio recording radio promos.
Yeah,
and he's just getting all confused. He's like, oh, I see what it did there, because he got like the station
letters, mixing.
Yeah, he got like the station wrong. He got the towns wrong.
Yeah,
he's just screwing off, and they're all just looking at him like, what is going on?
Yeah,
and they're thinking he's just overworked because he has been obsessively like signing all the time, rehearsing all the time.
His son said at the beginning, like he won't. Yeah, he's not stopping. He's like nonstop. He's doing like office parties and shit like that. Like basically accepting every gig that comes his way.
In which he reveals, I mean, I think we already said he has Alzheimer's.
Yes.
And he reveals that his doctor said if you keep your mind busy, you'll kind of helps push off the effect. Yeah, slows the process down.
Keeps you sharper. Oh, that was such a good scene. That reveal where he's talking to his son about it.
Before we get to that, though, the thing I really like is when the coin.
Oh, yeah.
I wish, again, if it wasn't a fucking Hallmark film, we wouldn't have got through that beat so quick. But that was a good beat for sure.
I feel like if this wasn't a Hallmark movie, we wouldn't have had all the J-Bug cue ball shit. And that's what really hampered a lot of it. It's because, man, every time it was like Sullivan and Bedford, it
was good.
So good.
Yeah.
But where do we get to the part with the coin? Where does that come in at?
Well, they get in a fight first. They're getting in a fight next about like what the set list should be and everything. And they're not want to do one December night. And then they basically just hash up old things beyond that. It just spirals.
Yeah.
And Sullivan walks off. Or Steve
he walks off because I loved this. Steve made a point to Mike, like in the argument, he's like, you didn't just let me down. You let down, what was it, like 4,000 people that were there to, 4,000 for the concert. And that is such a good point. It's like, it was so much bigger than just like, just me and you having a spat. Like there were people there for you and you let them all down, and that's why it hurt him so much.
Yeah, luckily I've never been famous where I had to worry about that, but definitely when you get to level of fame, unfortunately you do have to start thinking about the other people that rely on you in a way.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that Mike just struggled with. Like he he's the artist and it's about the art for him, but he has a hard time like accepting that like once you put it out there, that art doesn't just belong to him anymore.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's not even yours anymore. It's the fans or whoever's. And that's why he didn't care to give it up.
Yeah. That was something that was going through my head the entire time when we was doing our live show at Bruce Fest 22 at Estes Park. We got
God damn it.
I was like, these people, they're here for us to see this live show. Can't let them down. I was like, I'm not failing Mike and Eric. I'm failing this number of people that are in the crowd.
Well, and your listeners after the fact. Yes.
Yeah. I got to do it.
Yeah. I've been talking to a lot of people, and they are sad they missed it. But I was like, we understand. There's other things that got,
we just got a bad time. But hey, next year I think we have stands to say, hey, we need a good time slot for this bad boy.
We'll be lucky if they invite us back after that performance.
After that, Jesus Christ, that was a fucking good show.
It was all right, I guess.
I listened to it. We did great.
We need to have the whole cult there. Is the thing.
Absolutely.
To have the whole cult there.
Absolutely.
But is this coming after the coin, or is it like
the coin hasn't came yet?
I love that part. Yeah,
because they're basically not talking again.
For that coin,
right? Because they're not talking again because they just had their big fight. Steve's son shows them a bobblehead again, and then he's like, "This is another part where they just hammer it over you." It's like he's not remembering things because you seen this, because like you said, they kind of hint at the beginning. He's like, "Oh yeah, I did ask for that," and then. And now we see it again. It's like, you did ask for this. You don't remember this.
And he even said like the same. This is, it's so brilliant with the Alzheimer's acting like he has Alzheimer's. Cause he says word for word what he said before. Like, I look good as a bobblehead.
Yeah.
It's like that happens. They'll just say exactly the same. Like they had never said it before. And it's,
as Bruce would say, that's fucking acting. Just
fucking acting.
Yeah.
He's a fucking actor. Yeah.
It is.
So it's after this because they, each cue ball and what's the other one, Tyler? J-Bug. They talk to their dads and everything.
J-Bug.
And so then Steve, this is when Steve comes to the house to kind of reconcile. He's like, okay, I have an idea how to get this back going. He's like, let's flip a coin just like we did back in the day. How they choose the name of the band. There we go, flip a coin.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, let's just flip a coin again. If heads, we do the show. Tails, we don't do the show. And whole cue ball. She's like, "What? Well, no, don't do that."
Yeah.
And
whoa.
And J-Bug's just like, don't worry, it's fine. Flips it heads. He's like, all right, we'll do the show. And they go in there, they start practicing right away. Yeah. And she's like, thank God it came up heads. And J-Bug just like, no, it's a trick coin. Like, well, that's kind of shit.
I love that.
He's like,
because
no,
what did she say? Your dad needs Mike Sullivan needs help doing the right thing, and your dad and Steve Bedford needs to. She has something else. Basically,
I feel like he has a say in it, right? It was something like he's getting what he wants.
Yeah, I feel like he's getting what he wants, and Mike Sullivan needs help doing the right thing.
Yeah, because
I love that. I thought that was so good. Like that was that coin. I was like, that's so sweet. It's a trick coin the whole time, and like I love that part. So
but they're all aware of it. So
this is probably my biggest gripe of the movie is that coin, because it's just
really
like, this is the Dark Knight Returns. The coin.
That's what you drew. You drew comparisons. The Dark Knight. You saw a coin and you think that any movie has a coin is the Dark Knight.
No.
Eric,
it was a two-headed coin.
Eric, did you take a parachute with you for that jump or?
No.
Christ.
You guys are kidding me. Dark Knight came out way before this. It was a major plot point.
Okay. And
it's a minor plot point in a Hallmark Christmas movie. It's not the same thing. Hopefully they don't get sued by Warner Brothers.
I need some support from the listeners. You tell these guys in the comments that they ripped off the Dark Knight for that scene.
Christopher Nolan, if you're listening, do not go after.
Sue Hallmark, Christopher Nolan. They fucking ripped you off.
They basically stole the movie. The movie basically is Dark Knight.
That's all.
This ain't Christ allegory. This is a thieving of Dark Knight. God damn it.
That's the most egregious draw I've ever seen you do, is it?
You are not. No, I'm not stretching. That is not a
You are stretching.
It's a trick coin. Like, okay, heads this, tails that. Flip. Oh, it's heads. What do you know?
Dark Knight did not invent trick coins.
My own lot.
Yeah, because there's no other film that had a double-sided head coin before Dark Knight.
Name one.
It comes up often. There's so many I can't even name them. Is the problem?
I need you to name one.
I can tell you the two-sided coin was around before the Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan didn't invent that concept.
I'm standing by it.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right, you stand by it.
I guess by that logic, it's got Bruce Campbell, and this is basically Evil Dead. It's got Bruce Campbell, and Bruce Campbell's in the movie.
Bailey, what do you think?
I was trying to find movies with trick coins in them.
Did you find any?
Well, I got a bunch of magic tricks and whatnot because it's too short of a time frame for me to search.
It's a magician act, and it's it's Two-Face's backstory. That's all you'll find. That's all you'll find.
Listen, I'm comparing a Christmas Hallmark film to Batman.
Just one scene. Just one scene.
Just one thing. Not even a scene. You're comparing one prop.
I've never even seen The Dark Knight Returns, and I'm looking at you like, what the fuck?
No.
It's had a good acoustic guitar in it. It's basically Walk the Line at this point.
Guys.
There are people wearing shoes. Is this a fucking The Thing ripoff?
Crazy? Am I crazy?
I mean,
it's definitely it's a stretch. It's a stretch.
I mean,
it is not a stretch.
I'm I am. You know what? I am so glad you were able to make a beautiful reference like that, and were able to recall things from your dark, long past.
You know what? This was a nod. This was a Dark Knight nod.
Well, all I see right now, Eric, on this quick search I did, and it's showing films. It shows like 3 films that did this trope, and one is Batman Forever, which was before Dark Knight.
Yeah, right. Because it's Two-Face.
And then Cholet, I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
And then Dark Knight.
Yep.
But then there's like a list of like animes, comic books, literature, live action TV, theater, video games, web comics, Western animation, real life. But for the movies, those are the ones they named. 2 of the 3 are Batman off that one particular website.
It's one big Christopher Nolan ripoff.
Why are they always coming after Chris
You guys
Nolan,
don't have to agree to me, but you do have to acknowledge I'm not stretching that far.
I will not. That's a stretch.
Whatever.
You might not have been.
You're not getting one on me on that one.
You might not have been completely over backwards, but you had to reach down and touch your toes for sure. Like, I'll take back the parachute comment. How about that?
Okay.
Anyway, J-Bug and Q-Ball, they go start doing cute things again. They go decorate Sullivan's house, all big red.
Yep. She loves decorating.
I think I might miss something else, but it's fine. And then Q-Ball and Sullivan are making cookies together and find out it's grandma's recipe.
Yep.
And she thought it was her mom's recipe. It's like, no, she got that from my mom or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're being all cute and everything.
The
What does he say to piss her off? Like it was he didn't piss her off. He just like really made her cry. Because he's like,
it was when they didn't he just like, I don't know. I think it was just like the idea of them being together, right? Wasn't it just like she got upset because they never did stuff like this when she was younger?
Oh, he's like upset that he's sorry that him and her mom broke up and everything, and that I wasn't able to be there for her when she died. I'll never get it back, and it felt out of nowhere. I don't remember what they were talking about before. They were just talking about these cookies. He's like, I'm sorry your mom died. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I don't know if I mentioned this, when you were like a kid and shit, but like your mom dying really sucked. I think is what he said.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was a real bummer, wasn't it? When your
also
mom
alcoholic and your mom died.
Yeah.
That was a horrible time, right?
Talk about killing the buzz. That was some sad shit. So you're over that now, right?
It was probably the first time they talked about her mom in a long time, really.
Yeah.
Was over those cookies, and then it kind of brought that back, and he's like, I'm sorry. And, can you ever forgive me?
Oh my God. That one had me there for a moment.
Oh yeah. No, that was
rough.
I'll give this movie that everybody's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eloise, who plays Cue Ball, her facial expressions are just.
Really? I thought out of all of them, she was like the weakest one for some reason.
Did you really?
I did too. Yeah, I thought she was the weakest of them. No, actually, I think Jason was the weakest.
Expressive.
No,
I
yeah.
almost say, I'd say J-Bug is the weakest of them.
J-Bug, yeah.
J-Bug left less of an impression on me than what Q-Ball did.
Yeah.
But
and it could have been like her eyes. She kept having like that wide eyes of wonder, like going on with Christmas, or when she was, feeling feelings for J-Bug or something. I just thought she was really expressive myself.
the one that always got me was like when she
Expressions.
was like, cider, and then like the eye mask with
yeah.
the Rudolph. I'm like, because I heard Rudolph eye patch, and I went, there's a Rudolph like singular eye patch, and then you see her in the next scene with like this eye, and this is off topic, with like the Rudolph eye covering thing, and I'm like, that's not what I thought that was going to be, but okay. But yeah, she very childlike.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Like all of a sudden too. So yeah, I'll concede on that. Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden it's like oh yeah. Whereas usually she's business.
So now here was a beat I missed. They decided there's set list and everything, but they both agreed not to do 1 December night.
Yes.
Right.
There's something they both agreed on. But then the agency or whatever, they're like, we're not going to do the show without 1 December night, because it was obviously their biggest show, the biggest hit of all time.
Right.
So that happened earlier.
Up if it goes wrong.
Yeah. But they did give a contingency if they could do it with just Steve Bedford, but they had to have Mike Sullivan there.
No, it was just Steve could do it, but Sullivan didn't even want that essentially. So he wasn't going to do the show at all if 1 December night was involved anyway.
Right.
So what Steve did when they were trying to keep it behind Sullivan's back is, J-Bug comes to the rehearsal space and he's like, Dad, why are you in your performance gear? Your performance set, like the red suit, the white scarf.
Yeah.
He's like, why are you in your suit? He's like, we did a recording of 1 December night. He's like, Dad, we said we weren't going to do that.
But he was doing it because he knew at that point I liked this because it wasn't like his motivation wasn't selfish. He found out that Sullivan would lose the house if the show didn't go on.
Yeah, because I thought when he did that, I was like, man, what a dickish move to all of a sudden like give Steve Bedford, like at the third act, all of a sudden you find out he's like the asshole of the group.
Right.
I was like, what a weird thing to do. And then they explain it, they go into detail of like, he has the big reveal in that scene of, not only is he doing it for Steve, but also there's not going to be another show. He tells him like, there's not going to be this.
Yeah, Vegas isn't going to happen.
Vegas isn't going to happen. This is the last chance we have to do this. And
yeah.
What a fucking scene.
Yeah. He says but sometimes Mike has to be saved from himself, essentially. Like, he's like, we didn't need to use it. We recorded it just in case. He's like, you can't lose Big Red. This will be the last show. going in that, and this is they send the nephew, the 15-year-old in a giant suit away,
Yeah.
and then they have their big conversation like, Dad, what is going on? And this is, boy, I'm sitting here watching now like, boy, Bruce can really deliver a dramatic scene, can he?
Yeah.
It almost got me, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm not being colorful for the sake of the show, but that almost got me. I was like, man. And you know what it was? It wasn't the fact that Steve Bedford had Alzheimer's. It was the fact that it was just Bruce. The thought of Bruce, it really hit me. I was like, man, I don't buy a crack on this one.
Does he tell Mike like within like that same beat, or do we have to wait?
No, we find out later. It's like that happens. He reveals that, and what a fucking scene. If you're gonna watch One December Night for anything, watch it for Bruce, because this is some killer fucking acting.
Right, because you see it build. Like he does really good job. Like build. He's sitting there like rubbing his hand, and just his eyes continually just well up to. It's like, no, he definitely did very well with that scene.
Yeah.
Bruce
You won't
has
see
the
that in any other
ability.
Hallmark film.
Bruce has the ability to bring these like knockout stellar performances in movies that hardly anyone watches. That's so crazy to me. Because like there's Assault on Dome 4 where he plays just the perfect fucking villain, and no one's ever seen that movie. And now this, where he is just like an emotional powerhouse.
Yeah.
It is wild to me.
He makes it a priority. Like the performance comes first.
Exactly.
You know?
That's it. He doesn't take into account like, oh, this is just some shitty movie for the Hallmark Channel. Not saying it's shitty, but he doesn't just say like, yo, there's just some movie for the Hallmark Channel. He's like, nope, I have a job. They want me to do this. I'm gonna deliver it. And that's a fucking actor, man.
It's fucking acting.
Fucking acting, brother. And so basically, he reveals that, and then J-Bug is going to reveal to Mike and Cue Ball that, you know, he gathers everyone up. He tells Cue Ball like, hey, meet me here. And then we cut to a room where Mike and Cue Ball are there, and they're waiting. He's like, Dad's on his way up. Have something to tell you guys. And then at that point, the little kid comes in and is like, oh, hey, I'm super sorry about what happened earlier, you know. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, we recorded a fucking performance of One December Night without your knowledge, and just Steve.
J-Bug's just like, shut the fuck up,
yeah, he's
dude.
like, you shut the fuck up. And then she's like, did you know about this? And J-Bug's like, yeah, I knew about it. So
he knew of it, but he didn't condone it. Like,
right, that's what he should have said. Like, I was trying to stop it or something like that. But he's like, yeah. And of course, there's a little bit of contention.
But in the very next scene, she's walking away all upset, and then she sees her star that she brought out there, and just saying sorry to her, like, I ruined your career. She's like, no, I'm used to being poor. It's fine. It's like, you'll go get this. Go figure it out. She's like, okay, I'll go figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that man. As soon as after that scene, that Jasmine girl, it's like, no wonder you're in financial straits. Like, this poor woman
doesn't have a fucking backbone.
You're just so like nonchalant about like the financial trouble. Or she's just like, no, I just know you'll take care of it. And then just sits there and she's like, I'll just sit and enjoy my coffee. And I'm like, or you could fucking find out how you can help, maybe.
It was pie. It was
pie.
You're right. Pie. Apparently, pie is just so consuming that it causes this. So what do you say about your pie now?
Oh, pie would be a strong enough force to keep somebody complacent.
You think it was, you need pie?
You need pie.
You need pie is a Colorado staple. Apparently, we had dinner at one night. Right after Eric had a mental breakdown in the backseat of my a rental car.
Yeah, it was after you all got off stage, wasn't it?
Yeah, not 5 minutes after we left the stage. From our
breathe,
show with Bruce and Ted.
Shivering, just
man,
practically hyperventilating.
I thought we were going to lose him. I was like, man, Eric's going to die here on.
I was about to break out the meditation app I have. I'm like, here, man, take 5 minutes. Like, just here, deal with stress. Like,
yeah. You don't know what crazy is. I was stressed though. I was nervous the whole fucking time, but I had to like not show it.
Composure than
I was like, I cannot show any sign being nervous because Eric will pick up on that, and that's all downhill from there.
Oh no!
So the whole time I'm nervous as hell, but I was like, I gotta talk. I gotta make sure I lead this thing.
Keep that in mind if we ever
I have to stay strong for Eric.
Oh, I do well in front of a crowd. Put me in front of a crowd to become this pod god.
He's the pod god. He's the pod god.
Oh no!
Did you know you're in my phone as the pod god?
I drop the mask and I'm ready to roll. Nice.
I can't believe.
And then me, I'm just too cool for any of that. So
Mike's too cool. Mike's trying to get laid the whole time.
No, I'm not. I just think they don't have a chance.
Not trying to get laid.
Not trying to get laid.
Yeah.
But she Cue Ball goes and talks to her dad and gets him talked back into it. He comes to talk to Mike, and he's like, what is he doing? He's looking for his jacket, I guess. Yeah.
He's looking around the ground. He's like, what are you doing, Steve? He's like, looking for my jacket. It's around here somewhere. And he's like, it's surely not in the ground. And you see him. He's like, I could have sworn I had it. And
yeah, he's just like, I really thought I had it with me. And just like dejected because he knew it happened again.
He did that sort of disconnected look really well. It's like this this hazy, disconnected look.
Yeah.
And he did that. Like that made me feel, and I'm like, oh.
Well, I'll bring this up. I have experience with Alzheimer's in my family. You know, some of the multiple older members of my family had gone through like Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff like that. And he was spot on.
Yeah.
Like it was subtle. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like slapping you in the face until like, at one point in the movie that Mike was talking about. But like, even then it's just like, man, this is spot on. He did his research there. That got me.
That was cool.
Yeah. He did that really well in Bubba Hotep too.
Yeah, and that's not how he acts in real life for sure.
No, it's not. It certainly is not. No, he's sharp as a tack in real life. Good God. His memory blows me away.
Yeah, the things he remembers. It's just like,
my God, yeah.
He was
like
remembering
details and full name.
He remembered his Army of Darkness. There was a guy holding a sword to the back of Bruce's back.
Shotgun.
Was it the shotgun? I thought it was a sword he had to his back.
It was a sword.
No.
I know the you're talking about. He's got a sword.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, you see that man holding the sword? That man later went on. He remembered his name. I don't remember his name. And he's like, he later went on to make an Army of Darkness song. I'm like, why the fuck do you remember this? Like, why do you remember this random background guy that went on and made an Army of Darkness song?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll remember us someday.
Yes, he's gonna be like, I remember those Cult Talk Net fellows. They were awesome.
Oh, he don't
Professionals.
remember us.
Professionals.
He's gonna remember. He's gonna be like, I think that Eric boy had like an was malnourished.
I get a sugar deficiency.
Yes, that one.
Poor kid about how to went into diabetic shock on stage.
He couldn't breathe afterwards. It looked peculiar.
Thank God for that handsome mustachioed pod god up there to keep things on track.
Totally.
Why were there 3 mustaches? I said not. We'll talk about that later. Anyway,
leave, baby. This is all now.
I said yours could stay. I said Michael's had to go.
It's gone. Well, Mike's
I don't
barely
have
a mustache. Yeah.
It is a mustache.
I have a whole goatee thing.
It's a
It's a good thing.
And it looks
It's a whole chin strap. It's a whole thing.
Makes him look trimmer.
Look
I gotta get all the help I can get right now.
These both are
I need to lose weight all over again. This is horrible.
Their facial hair is
same.
so pristine and meticulous, and then you look at me and you're just like, oh, fucking werewolf over there. Shave your cheeks, Eric. Jesus Christ.
Malnourished werewolf, yes.
Malnourished werewolf. Yeah.
That's why you're shaking. Just low blood sugar. It's fine.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, Mike and Steve have their whole heart to heart. And then also we go right into the next scene where J-Bug and Q-Ball have their basically the same thing. Dad has Alzheimer's. It's like literally the exact same thing.
Yeah. It was so emotional though between Bradford and Sullivan though. Because Sullivan immediately goes to like, how much time do you have left? Which I mean, when I've been put in that situation where it's like, oh my God, how much time? Well, we don't know. It's undeterminable. And like you actually see, and like I don't know if he actually does, but he certainly plays it off like he does a single Bruce tear go down the cheek. And that's when it got the Bailey screech of, oh my God, I hope they paid him extra for that tear.
Right. So then we're on show night. We have the girl open up, Jasmine. She sings a song.
Yeah.
And then Mike, which one? Mike Sullivan.
Steve is Bruce.
Yeah, Mike Sullivan. He wrote the lyrics out for the
for Steve.
Yeah, for Steve. He's like, I made it real big. Sorry about the scribble letters and everything if you can't read it, but he tried to make it so he wouldn't forget the lyrics, trying to help him out.
For him. Oh, I loved that. It's like immediately supporting him with what he's
because it kind of makes me wonder, even on the caroling scene, if Steve was looking to Mike's like, please help me out with this right now, because he probably couldn't remember the lyrics actually.
I'll bet you're right, because I think Mike was more on it with the carolers than Steve was. Perhaps I might be giving Hallmark a little more credit than I should, but I think that
That probably could have been like, he's like, man, please help me out because you're the man. I don't remember shit right now.
Right.
So then they perform their show. They do One December Night as the very last song, which I don't remember shit about the song. It was not a very memorable song for me.
No, they cut away in the middle of it. But it was a sweet song.
He dedicated it to his daughter, Cue Ball, and her mom. Which did we touch? We touched that they had passed away. Yes. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think all the wives passed away. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one thing that I found kind of awkward was Mike singing the song, and he kind of turns in his stool that he's in to turn and look at his daughter, and she's all cuddled up with his best mate's son, and I'm like, I don't think I'd be cuddled up next to anybody if my dad was looking at me. It's just awkward. I don't know. Maybe that's just my prudish side coming out. But I don't know. It's weird to me. I don't know.
I mean, she's a grown adult. He wants her to be happy. Yeah. You know.
Like I said, it's probably just my prudish side coming out. But I don't know. That was the only thing that struck me as weird. But overall, it was very, very sweet and very, very cute. Very, very loving.
Right.
And her highlighter looked really good, too. I was like, oh, my God, she looks like a fairy elf.
And then after the show went well. So everything's all in good with the agency. We go to this Christmas party after the fact, the little after party. And Bruce is telling a story. And he's forgetting. He's like, I already told this before. I was, yeah, it's fine, Dad. So they're kind of playing Alzheimer's a little more lighthearted now.
Yeah, well, I think everyone's kind of accepting it now. They know what's going on.
Yeah, because that's something else that happens is you will have the same conversation over and over and hear the same stories.
He tells him, he didn't make a lie of it. He just tells him like it's my favorite story, Dad. Like he's like,
yeah, he was pretty kind about it. You're right. He was just like, yeah, it's okay. I like that story.
He was like, oh my God, you're losing your mind.
What's wrong with you?
Are you feeling okay? Do you know where you are?
Oh shit!
Hopefully, it's at least a good story. If you're going to hear it over and over again, might as well get that one.
Let me tell you, it isn't always.
When Tyler's Alzheimer's kicks in, he's going to just be telling the Estes Park story over and over again. Or Estes Park.
Repeatedly just promote Cult Talk Net over and over. That's all I do most of the time.
And talk about his Mario Brothers collection. When you're old and has Alzheimer's, I'm going to tell you that I sold your Mario's brother collections.
Fucking foul witch.
But then you'll forget, so it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So then we get to see the conclusion of J-Bug and Q-Ball. They're being all cutesy, and then they finally kiss each other. The dad's walking like, wow, they're kissing. Yay. Yeah. We're so glad.
Yeah, they kissed when they snuck in and decorated Mike's house. They kissed in front of the new.
I thought they almost kissed. I didn't think they actually.
They almost kissed.
They did. They did, but it was like then.
Oh man, they really should have saved that.
It was interrupted. It was interrupted. But they
her
did
dad
kiss.
comes in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he is like, should we talk about it? Yeah, they did kiss.
Yeah. But then they didn't after that. Yeah. Sorry.
This time the kiss was fine. They accepted it. The dads accepted it.
Yep.
And then they kiss again. And
they said, what, maybe, what was her name? The waitress?
Oh, Norma, played by Dee.
Yeah, they said, maybe Norma's right. Maybe we should give Bedford and Sullivan, the sequel, a shot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because, Bedford and Sullivan, the couple.
Ooh. Yeah, nice. So then they kiss to end the show, and that is the end of One December Night.
Ooh, baby.
So, Tyler, I'll get us there, Mr. Pod God.
Let's go ahead and get over to our next segment. Let's talk about the quality of Campbell.
You did it.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
One December Night. We just watched it. Bruce's very first Christmas movie. Man, what a fucking movie.
Yeah.
He delivered more than he should have for a Hallmark film. He didn't just phone this one in. He definitely still showed up.
We've seen as much as I love Bruce, we've seen instances where he's phoned in acting, and this wasn't it. It's one he probably could have. I mean, hell, he's probably making a pretty nice little chunk of money, getting treated, getting basically a little vacation to Colorado. But no, he went out there and he fucking did it. This movie, I spent $7.99, I want it $6.99, something like that. And this is now going to be in my Christmas movie rotation because this is a fucking movie. I love this. This is a good flick. I don't have much bad to say about it, honestly.
Yeah, I spent $10 on it on YouTube, and I'm not upset about it. Bailey, how much did you spend for this film?
Somehow.
She liked it so much she bought it on Prime and YouTube.
YouTube doesn't like me.
She owns 2 copies, so now
$18.47, y'all.
Yeah.
YouTube wouldn't load it up after she bought it.
Let's see if it's there now. Oh my God.
Yeah,
hang on. We're going to see if it's here now.
Yeah,
Because I
probably
checked my account because I was like, surely they didn't take my money before giving me the movie. It's not there.
It's not there.
It's not there.
We're going to revoke our endorsement of YouTube.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
So with that, Bailey, we'll start with you. Was it worth the $18? Give us let's go through your groovy or not groovy here.
Don't ask me if it's worth $18.
Setting her up for failure there.
Because I actually did like this movie. It was actually really cute. I honest to God, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought I had an extra week to do this. So when I found out I had to watch a Hallmark Christmas movie tonight, I was dreading it. I was not excited. But this was actually pretty good. Like, this actually kept my attention. With Eric, like, you know, you can kind of call it out, but it's like you just missed the mark. So they had their own little special twist to it.
Yeah.
I like that everything was all tidied up. Bruce Campbell did awesome. I think this was it's the same Bruce, but it's Bruce in a different light. It's kind of like Granddad Bruce. Can I say Granddad Bruce? Is he gonna get mad at me?
Sure.
I'm not old enough to be a grandpa.
If he listens, he'll let you know.
I expect a phone call, Bruce. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was very sweet, very touching. You know, all the Hallmark tropes included and whatnot.
So what's your rating? Groovy or not groovy, Bruce?
I think it's groovy.
Groovy Bruce.
All right.
Pivot to Eric now since he's right there beside you.
Yeah. So, okay. Bruce was amazing in this. He had a lot of subtlety to it, but he was also still had his moments to be bombastic. He was funny. There were some quips there. It was, you know, the Hallmark version of, like, you know, some Bruce stuff going on, the wittiness. So he wasn't exactly couldn't drop the F-bomb in there or call anyone stupid. But he played a very believable character. I believed, like, what his motivations were and his relationships with people. His chemistry with Peter Gallagher was great. I would have loved to see more of their scenes together, because whether they were bickering or getting along, like, it always you felt their relationship, that backstory. It really did feel like two people that basically grew up more or less as brothers and had their spats and stuff. So he was phenomenal.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of me and Mike, honestly.
You know what? I had that thought too. Just that kind of.
I've never hit you with the candy cane, but okay.
That's true. Not yet. Well, yeah.
I hit me with a lot more shit than the candy cane, honestly.
So this is, without further ado, just Bruce's acting was amazing. This is a groovy
baby all day. This was a fucking movie, man. I love this. I love two things: Hallmark and Bruce Campbell movies, and they brought them together. And what a confection this was, man. Like, woof. I would have liked this movie a whole lot more if we would have maybe toned down the J-Bug and cue ball aspect of it. But man, that Bruce and Peter Gallagher shit, more of that. Pump that shit in my veins, man. That was some good stuff. And, man, Bruce just bringing the heat and an emotional powerhouse in this movie. Yes. I think that Steve Bedford might make the go up on my list of, like, Bruce characters.
Top 10?
I'd say top 10. Yeah. You know what's funny is when we was at Bruce Fest 2022 in Estes Park, Colorado. What? I was asked to interview. Some people by Black Ink Presents. They asked me to walk around the crowd, interview people with the camera.
Yeah.
And I did that. And what I was asking people, I was asking them, what is your favorite Bruce movie outside of the Evil Dead franchise? You know, to make it a little spicy.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to hear the typical, I love Evil Dead 2. So I was asked that. I had like 2 or 3 people said this one December night was one of their favorite Bruce movies outside the Evil Dead. So
wow.
So it definitely I was shocked as hell by that people were saying that. 'Cause, I mean, so this movie really resonates with the Bruce fandom. The Campbellites really like this movie,
and now you get it.
Yeah, now I get it. Man. I'm so glad. I was pretty sure I was gonna like this movie. So I was like, it's gonna try pretty hard for me to hate this movie. But man, I wasn't expecting this kind of quality out of this movie. This was a good flick. Like, I'm not going to tout around and say Hallmark movies are the greatest things in the world. A lot of them are pretty bad. But man, this was good. This was outside of the norm. It wasn't one of the memes of, I mean, it had that big city girl comes to a small town and finds love.
Right.
I mean, it had that. That's just Hallmark. That's what
It
they
still
do.
had, some Hallmark beats, but it did have some originality to it.
Man, yeah, this was a good film. I loved it. Not without its flaws, but for me, this is Groovy. It's my new favorite Bruce Campbell Christmas movie.
It is the only one. Yeah.
Yep. What about you, Mike?
Definitely a Groovy Bruce for sure. The Hallmark aspect of it, I could have done without a lot of the tropiness of the Hallmarkness about it. But as again, we're not here for the film. I enjoyed the film. If they could have changed the pacing about it a little bit more. God, I mean, how long was this movie? It's still an hour and a half, even with its pacing. So I don't know. I'm not sure what they could have done to clean that up for me. Even I think they just probably packed two. Well, I guess they're trying to pack two love stories into one. The relationship between Bruce and Sullivan, and then also
the bromance and the romance.
Yeah, the bromance and the romance. So if they wasn't trying to pack two relationships into this film, it could have probably been paced out a little better. And yeah, it was just a film made for two relationships. But for Bruce's parts, he definitely delivered on all sides of it. When he first comes on film, on the screen, he's just, I don't know, he's delivering everything. And you all caught on real early on that he was going to be Alzheimer's, and I did.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And even Anna shaking her head at me, she's like, yeah, he's going to have Alzheimer's this whole time.
The film was an hour and 24 minutes long.
Yeah, so I think that's what they had to do is cut some J-Bug and Q-Ball out a little bit for it to me like it's the movie more. But as far as Bruce's parts, I could have seen more of Bruce, more of Sullivan, and seen those, like Eric said, seen those scenes together where they're just interacting more. He delivers dramatic really well. Jesus.
He sure does.
Was not expecting that. I knew as soon as they revealed that he had, as soon as I called him, he had Alzheimer's. I knew, I was like, there's going to be a point where it's revealed and it's going to be an emotional scene. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, that was awesome stuff.
So this is a certified Groovy across the board for Bruce.
Certified Groovy, man. Yeah, hell yeah. And this is the second Christmas thing we've watched. It's got certified Groovy. So Bruce and Christmas, they come together. They come together, baby. So I mean, I want more of this. I cannot wait till next year to see this other one. I'm holding off. I'm not watching it.
Hold off, right?
Yeah, because even it, like I said, I read the synopsis just kind of briefly, just a little summary it gave me on Prime, because Prime suggested another movie after this, which is the other one. And even like the little 2-sentence synopsis, it's a lot different than this and a lot different than other Hallmark movies. So I'm excited for that.
So much like Eric had to wait for Thanksgiving 3, you have to wait for Bruce's other Christmas film.
Of course.
It's going to be hard.
Out.
Hopefully
it's a better experience. Yeah, hopefully it's a much better experience. Oh God. But yeah,
I think that wraps it up. I think we have a certified Groovy.
Certified Groovy across the board. What a way to kick off Cult Talk Net Christmas 2. Yeah. Man, this is a way to do it right here with this movie. If you like
your Campbell, go see this movie, even if Hallmark aren't necessarily your thing. You'll at least enjoy the Bruce scenes. You really will.
I really hope that Bruce fans aren't put off by the fact that it's a Hallmark movie, because it's outside the norm. It's I
mean, even you were worried about that aspect of it.
Right.
A little bit, yeah.
But support it. It's a good gig for him to have. He talks about how much he liked working for Hallmark in interviews and stuff. So he enjoys the time there. It's good for him.
I think it helped him for it to not be a traditional Hallmark story too. I think it kind of helped play it to his strength a bit more.
Yeah,
and from what I understand, like, because he mentioned at Bruce Fest, like he's like I just wrapped on another wrapped on a Hallmark movie. It took 15 days shoot. So I think he's got a third one coming out at some point. I mean, it's just conjecture, but I'm pretty sure. But hell, if they keep feeding us Christmas content, we'll keep putting it out. So well, it's got Bruce in it. But
I'm not opposed to a second one of this one. I just don't know where they would. I just don't know where they would go.
I don't want to see Bruce with Alzheimer's. I don't want to see him like
it's too sad. I think that would be way too.
That was too much.
I could.
Oh, but it was so good.
Man, what a good. I mean, him in this, but I don't want to see him like full blown Alzheimer's. I just don't think I can handle that.
Yeah, he's too good. He'll break our hearts.
He's too good. He will. He almost did in this one. But there you have it. That was one December night, and this is Cult Talk Net Christmas 2. And tomorrow we have Cult Talk Conspiracy Santa Claus Encounters coming, and it's a fun one. We're talking about real life Santa Claus encounters that are recorded by people. So that's gonna be a fun one, and
it's definitely edited and completed by the time of hearing this podcast.
Definitely.
Hell, for you text me that it was almost done. So, and
Can
then
I was going to ask if I could ask Michael and Eric just a simple yes or no, no explanation question, just to keep things moving. Do we think Santa Claus is a cryptid?
No, not
Michael.
a cryptid.
Michael,
Was it a super terrestrial?
Cryptid is a mysterious animal like Bigfoot or.
Well, no, ain't that the thing, Tyler? A super terrestrial? They could basically whatever the fuck you want them to be.
No, that's the
Ultra terrestrial. Yeah.
These are different. These are different.
that's
There you
going
go.
to be coming.
Ultra-
That's gonna be coming.
Ultra terrestrial. There you go.
Okay, so not a cryptid, but an ultra terrestrial.
Yeah, just
I bring that up too. Yeah, I bring that. Well, not spoiling, but yeah.
I know. I edited the
I know,
episode.
we're spoiling. I just wanted to know the collective thought because I hadn't thought about it since we recorded it way back
Yeah.
when.
But there you have it. That's what's next. And also this week, jam packed. We have our gift exchange of Palooza 1 and 2. We have the Cult of Lore Krampus special. Is that correct, Eric?
That is correct.
And
Yes.
Is
then,
that coming out on Thursday or the Saturday?
That
That
is
comes
not
out on
coming
Saturday.
at the regular day.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's going to be coming out. Yeah.
yeah.
I know you usually try to release on Thursday, sometimes Friday, and then it happens on Saturday also.
Always. I don't know what
This-
you're talking
We're
about.
letting this one on Christmas Eve. This is a Christmas Eve release.
Yeah.
And then
So-
on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
we have a special presentation of Christmas Chronicles. And this will be under the presentation of Cult of Russell. For all you Cult of Campbell fans, check out Cult of Russell on Christmas Day, Christmas Chronicles.
Is there
It's
a
good
Russell
episode.
Fest?
I don't think so.
We will find
And
out.
there is.
now.
I'm fucking going.
Yeah.
I'm not passing up the chance to meet Kurt Russell, man. No. We won't get invited back, but we're going.
So that's a lot of Christmas cheer that we're spreading around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spreading it all over your ear holes. You're
All
welcome.
over your ear.
Holidays are insane for Cult Talk Net. Honestly, this last quarter of the week, the year is fucking intense. With the amount of content we pump out.
I'm quitting before the next one.
Oh,
No.
That's fine.
I will lock you back up in the basement. I swear.
I'm fine. I'll hang.
Yeah. Try. We'll chop your hands off. You'll be editing with your teeth, but you chop your legs and your arms off, and you're editing with your nose and your teeth.
You get that episode done on time, or we're taking another piece.
Okay.
There you have it. That was.
Let me keep my arms.
We hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. This Christmas week is always hectic, but hopefully Cult Talk Net has given you some leave. You can listen to some of our crazy shit and enjoy these episodes we're putting out. So Cult Talk Campbell right here, Cult of Conspiracy tomorrow, Gift Exchange Part 1 and Part 2, that's Thursday and Friday. Those are YouTube exclusives. Then we have Cult of Lore on Saturday as a Christmas Eve special. You can find that on the Cult of Lore podcast feed and at youtube.com/culttalknet. And Cult of Russell, Santa Claus, Christmas Chronicles, and we'll let you know where that comes out because I'm not entirely sure. But you'll find it. You'll find out about it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was one December night. Go watch it. Don't be afraid of Bruce Campbell in a Hallmark movie because it is nothing but holiday magic. But I've been Ty.
I've been Eric.
I've been Michael.
I've been Bailey.
That's a shitty gimmick. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Cult of Campbell. Merry Christmas and have a very Cult Talk Christmas. Stay groovy.
Stay groovy.
Merry Christmas!
Hail to the king, baby.
That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.